Hey everybody, this video message is made for my good friend Robert David, RD. Shout out to you, RD, how's it going? I'm so happy that you asked me the question, what have I had the chance to learn from Tony Robbins, right? So Tony Robbins is a coach, he's a strategist, he's an entrepreneur, he's a great guy, I believe, and he has many lessons. He's giving seminars around the world online and offline, in person as well. And he's a great guy, general great guy, overall super awesome personality. And I like him. I've been following him for years, and I've had the chance to learn from him throughout his seminars for, if you add them up, for about 56 hours at this point. And I hope, and I like it so much, I continue to go back to learn more. And I hope it's only gonna grow, right? So, but what have I learned so far from Tony Robbins, right? That is a question. Many things, as a matter of fact. I got a booklet full of notes from Tony Robbins' seminar. And I don't have time to share all those lessons with you. Why is that? Oh my God, Patrick, you don't have time for me? I mean, how come? What? Am I not important to you? You are a very important person in my life, RD. I cherish you, I appreciate you, you're a true inspiration, and I love you, buddy. And at the same time, these are usually lessons that you cultivate in your mind to what? To better your what? Your own self. How can you better your own self? You first gotta understand who you are. You first gotta understand who yourself is, right? So, yeah. So I wrote about myself. I wrote a lot about my past. I wrote a lot about my future, both of which I'm not gonna share in this video. What I will share in this video is that, Tony Robbins recommends certain kind of techniques that I think you can just cherry pick from this video and take away or even use right away. And hopefully that's gonna be like a golden nugget, like multiple golden nuggets packed on top of another. And yeah, so let's get to it. These are gonna be strategies I've been recommended by Tony Robbins. All right, first, three important things that make what a personal or any sort of subjective human experience. Okay, number one, these are in order of significance. Okay, first, most important thing, physiological state. Physiological state is something that defines your whole body and your brain, the device that processes your emotions, your feelings, your view of the world at the certain kind of present situation, right? It's part of your body too. Physiological state, number one, most important thing. You gotta look out for your body, which includes your brain, and you gotta cultivate a certain kind of physiological state that you will put you in a what? Empowered position. Empowered state. Okay, thank you. So, next, second most important thing, story. So what is a story? A story is that can define your everyday. A story that can define your future. A story that can and probably did define your past. Okay, so what is a story? It can be a story about your identity. It can be a story about who you believe you are. If you believe that you're a smoker, what do? You smoke cigarettes. But if you believe that you're not a smoker, maybe you were in the past, but you're not a smoker anymore, what do? You don't start smoking again. You don't do this, right? That's his go-to example. Tony Robbins uses the smoking example, right? Like, why are you counting the days since you gave up smoking? Because you will go back. What? Yeah, you will go back. Like, stop counting. Decide that you're no longer a smoker and make that part of your identity. And if you make it so, you are no longer a smoker. You're a healthy person. Part of your identity, that's who you are. You changed. Perfect. So yeah, these stories can be bigger than smoking too, right? So some people believe that they're a failure. Some people believe that they just made a mistake in the past that they cannot recover from. And these are true beliefs. These are beliefs that I have once believed. And I know now that these are beliefs, stories that were part of my past that I no longer subscribe to or believe in, right? There are also empowering stories that you should believe in. Athletes. Many of them believe that they're going to be future Olympic athletes. Many of them believe that they're going to be future, world champions. That's awesome, man. I mean, that's fantastic that you do have a story about your future that's going to put you in an empowered position. Okay, so fantastic. So the story does have a technique to this inside of it. You can say, I think these are like 2 sentences max. Okay, so you should say in 1 sentence or 2 sentences max what your old story was, and put a little word in between the next thing that I'm about to say. So your old story and my new story is, and then you say your new story. So one of the examples that Tony gives was that my old story was that I am a smoker, and my new story is that I'm no longer a smoker, I'm a healthy person. I'm using these examples because this is what Tony gives. These are right away, good examples. I believe I've never smoked before cigarettes in my life. So yeah, but for the credit, that's why I'm sharing this, for the credit. But you get the point. And so what did I say? Number 1, most important thing, physiological state. Number 2, story. Okay, my old story was, and my new story is. Okay, great. And you can always redefine your stories that you believe in. You can always redefine who you wish to be. And you do change. You do change. Sometimes you change week by week, right? Sometimes you change year by year. Sometimes it changes slow. Sometimes it changes fast. But we can all agree on that life is too short to suffer. That's what I believe. Life is too short to suffer. And so does Tony Robbins. Therefore, he gives these techniques to change what? To change your entire life with techniques, strategies, so that you can do what? Eliminate the suffering, or at least, shorten the time of suffering, and maximize the time of what? Happiness and progress. Okay, so, and third thing that he gives in this remarkable thing, idea concept, is strategy. So physiological state, your stories, and your strategies. What is a strategy, right? A strategy is something that you repeat and you can get the same results for, right? So a strategy is almost like a scientific thing. Like you repeat your strategies and you get what? Similar results. And it is also an agreed upon truth that if you got a bad strategy, no matter how many times you try again to make something work, with a bad strategy, something cannot be made happen. Something cannot be achieved. Something cannot be cultivated. Something cannot be broken through. With a bad strategy, you can't get to your desired goal. So you gotta find the right way, and this is pretty hard. No one is telling you what the right strategy is sometimes, but there are often occasions when there are, lessons and teachings that they're coming from reliable, trustworthy, authentic sources that have tried and failed and tried and won, and they are like, whoa, the strategy that actually made me win was, and they share their strategy with you, okay? You can choose your strategies. This is the good thing about it, right? You can choose what? You can choose all these 3 things. You can choose your strategies. You can choose your own story. You always have the capacity to choose your own story. You always have the capacity to choose your own strategy. And hopefully, if things go right and you're a healthy person, that is an able-bodied person, then you always have the capacity to change your state as well. If not, you can always ask for help. You can always ask other people to help you. And I'm thinking of, people that cannot necessarily stand up from a chair, but they can ask for help. They can ask for some person to, bring them a cup of tea so that they can drink it, and so that, their whole body changes because of that, hot tea. Your feelings change. Therefore, what? Your number one priority that defines your human experience, your physiological state gets what? More empowering. Okay? And the story. Back to your story. I'm really going at this. So for people who cannot stand up, right? Their physiological state can change from what? Drinking just a glass of tea, and their story. What is their story? People who cannot stand up. What should their story be? Luckily I'm not in a position where I cannot stand up, but I know a great person who inspired me throughout my childhood and continues to remind me and make me remember what a great person can do. His name is Professor Stephen Hawking. Professor Stephen Hawking was somebody who was living his life since, I believe, his late 20s in a wheelchair. And he revolutionized our current understanding of physics, our current understanding of black holes. Stephen Hawking wasn't bound by the story that this situation, this genetic circumstance was something that, put an end to his thriving mind. This was not a story that he believed in. He believed that no matter what, he's gonna do his best. And so he did. And revolutionized and continued to spread the great, message of inquiry, the message of, thoughtful questions to the many, around the world. So that one day people can be inspired by that message, and so that one day, another great physicist can come along and improve or perhaps revolutionize what was once believed to be true. And his strategy was writing. His strategy was writing down formulas. His strategy was writing down principles and words and sentences. He was having a hard time, actually. He was having a hard time writing, so he had to use a certain kind of special technology. Did it stop him? No. The strategy was that he is using a certain kind of technology so that he can do what? So that he can achieve his goal. So that he can achieve his mission. Okay? So I think Stephen Hawking was the example I gave. I'm pretty sure Tony Robbins can give a million examples for this, but Stephen Hawking was the example that came to my mind right at this present moment. All right, this has been 3 important things. Would you be interested in hearing some extra? Okay, I hear you, man. RD, I think you're interested in hearing some extra. Okay, I'll give you some extra. I said 3 things, but I also said I got a little booklet full of these cool ideas, right? So, boom. And what are ideas? Ideas are tools that can change your whole entire mind and the world around you. Pretty important stuff. Pretty empowering stuff, I believe. So yeah, here comes the extra bit. So the extra bit is, looking for stuff. And this is gonna be, I think you know this exercise. I'm pretty confident that you know this exercise. But let's, for those and the people around you that don't know this may be an interesting, cool story that you maybe want to share with your friends, right? Like you maybe want to share with your friends. So take a pause and don't look at this video at this point. And look around your whole environment and look for brown. Okay? I'll give you 4 seconds. Look for brown things in your environment, RD, or everybody who's watching this video. Okay, look for brown things. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now close your eyes and tell me what brown things you have seen. Tell me the brown things you have seen. Okay? Tell me. Name them. Name the brown things. Okay. Now open your eyes. All right? What red things did you notice? I know your eyes are open, so right, you're looking around you now and you're like noticing all these red things around you, right? So like, okay. So if you're not focusing on brown, you cannot necessarily notice the red. If you're not focusing on what you're looking for, or what you're asked to look for, right? Then you cannot find it, or cannot easily find it, right? So this is, you've been looking for the brown, you notice the brown everywhere, and this is like, something was like, okay, I remember that, and then some other thing was like, whoa, I totally forgot about that, right? And but you were not asked to look for red things. I just surprised you with the question, so that you can tell me like, give me some things around you that are red, and you notice them immediately, right? Because your eyes were open. You were like, oh, there are so many red things around me too. I could have noticed them. I could have made note of them too. That this is red too. This is red too. This is red too. And this is brown. And this is brown. And this is brown. Okay. So there is why do I share this example, this experiment? Because you notice what you're looking for. Okay, that's the whole message of it. You notice what you're looking for. And, we all met those people who are looking for excuses. Looking for something to ruin their day so that they can complain about it. I hope you don't get to interact with these people very, very often. Maybe you do. I don't, luckily, but yeah, why? Because I taught every single friend of mine this technique, right? So it's pretty cool. But the message is, you notice the things you're looking for, and sometimes you don't know what you look for. Sometimes you're not looking for the right things, right? So yeah, if you're looking for positivity, guess what? You'll find it. If you're looking for negativity and excuses, guess what? You will find it. Straight up, you will find everything. This whole world is abundant. There's a lot of things around us. Therefore, you have what? Colors that your eye uses to differentiate between the objects that you're seeing and the people that you're seeing. And this is similar things with the experiences or thoughts that may be part of your everyday, right? You gotta choose the right things that you notice. And you can choose them. You can cultivate your, worldview that you can choose to notice what you want to notice. Right? So there's that. Are you interested in a little bit of extra too? I got some extra good stuff for you. What am I running out of time? I don't think so. Are you running out of time? Okay, I hope not. You can always just pause and continue. But I'll be here. This is a video, so yeah. But some extra. What time limit do you set yourself? This is a great technique and strategy too, right? So this is an extra bit. So I just mentioned the previous stuff. What were the previous stuff? 3 important things: physiological state, your story, my old story was, and my new story is, and strategy. Okay? And guess what? Bad strategies even if you repeat them over and over again, cannot get you to your goal. Gotta pick the right strategy. Okay? And then I shared this message that you notice what? You notice what you are looking for. And sometimes you got blind spots. You gotta find a way to make those blind spots disappear. Find a mentor that can point you to the right direction. Find a mentor that can point out the fact that you have blind spots too. And you can notice things that may be serving you. Maybe serving you the right way, but you don't know about them just yet. Okay? And extra bit comes now. How much time do you give yourself to notice that you're wasting your own time? How much time do you give yourself to notice that you are wasting your own time? This is a different kind of thing, right? So you notice things, right? But there's a time limit, right? Because we agreed that life is short and Life is too short to suffer. Okay, so I repeat the question, how much time do you give yourself to notice that you are wasting your own time? Okay, I give myself like 90 seconds. There's a 90-second rule that I have for myself, and this is a rule I learned from Tony Robbins again. This is not my own rule. Some people have a 7-second rule, which is pretty dope and fantastic. I don't have the, right kind of, what is the right emotional fitness to like straight up change my whole emotions in 7 seconds. But sometimes I do have 90 seconds where I catch myself that I'm wasting my own time with what? With complaining, with negative ruminating thoughts, with something that doesn't serve me, that is in my head, right? That is nothing to do with the people around me, that is nothing to do with my whole day, is just something that came up, the thought that came up to my brain, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I don't need this, it doesn't serve me, but it came up, maybe because of my past, maybe because of something. I'm sure everybody has this, right? We all have thoughts that just come into our minds that does not serve us. These are negative thoughts sometimes, right? And how much time do you allow yourself to notice that you're wasting your own time with a certain kind of negative thought, with a certain kind of pessimism? Okay. Don't give yourself, really, like an hour, 2 days? Like, how much time do you give yourself to get over something that, maybe was a kind of like a waiter or a waitress offending you, or a bad restaurant experience or something, right? I'm straight up telling you these experiences because these are big things that you can get over real fast, but there are also things that, that you make big things to be, right? So sometimes, I don't know, like you didn't get to go to Disneyland because it was raining. How much time do you give yourself to notice that you're wasting your own time with a negative thought, with some sort of thought that doesn't serve you? Okay? Yeah. And on the contrary, there are some things in our life that deserve the time. Okay? One of the things that come to my mind is, the celebration of a birthday party. Like, you are meant to celebrate your birthday party, what? Throughout the whole day, man. Like, I had this great experience where I woke up and had, like, what? A 13-hour long birthday celebration at multiple locations in multiple cities. And I was like, whoa, best birthday. I can't wait to see the next one. So, yeah. So you can choose to make, your life amazing. And if you want to indulge and entertain and engage with emotions and thoughts that serve you and make you what? Make you happier, your life more meaningful, your community bigger and wiser, then these are, emotions and events that you should be present for. You should be respectful enough to know that you should be present for the great moments in your life. And that is important. So if something comes up when there's a great moment in your life, then you should be present for RD. Then that's something probably is disturbing your peace. And that something doesn't deserve your attention because it's disturbing your peace and it's disturbing it's making you avoid the greatest moments of your life. Whether it be another fantastic birthday party, whether it be another fantastic amazing weekend, right? So yeah, if something doesn't serve you, a thought or even an emotion that you want to get over, but you don't know how to do it, give yourself 90 seconds to let it affect you. And then after 90 seconds, you do what? Change your state. Shake your body out. Like, get a cold shower, do something. Okay, change your physiological state. And if that doesn't help you, then there is what? Maybe your story is something that you gotta change. Your old story was, and your new story is. How do you do that? You write you literally write 1 or 2 sentences max. And why is that? Because brevity is the sign of wit, and you gotta be witty to know yourself. Okay? right? You gotta understand yourself. And there's a strategy too. That you gotta, use. You gotta use something that, makes you remember your own stories. You gotta use something that makes you remember what are the messages that you stand by. And RD is a great example of this. He often uses Instagram for this, and I follow him on Instagram, as everyone who's watching this video should. RD, let them see you. Let them see your greatness, man. I see you, I love you, and I love the fact that you asked me such a great question. What have I learned from Tony Robbins? There are many more things, and I could go on, but this is all we had time for today, buddy. All right, I really cherish this connection that we have, and I cannot wait to, share all the great stuff with you in the future again. All right, thanks again for watching. Really do appreciate it. Love you, and I'll see you in the future. All right, best of luck. See ya.